Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. You still have a minute. I will start texting board members and
Thank you. Okay, Christina, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3,
yes.
4. So we can get started.
Okay, I will screen share the agenda. Oh,
Thank you so much. And are we ready?
yes, we're streaming,
Okay.
and the link is in board docs.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. Today is April 30th, 2025, and my name is Francoise Darrell Ledger, and I'm the chair of the Teaching and Learning Committee for the Hartford Board of Education, and this is our Teaching and Learning Committee meeting. And I am vice chair for the Hartford Board of Education, and what I normally do is I popcorn it off to others so that we can know who's in the space and what role you have. So I will popcorn it off to Jennifer Hockenholt.
Thanks, Francoise. Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Hockenhall, and I'm a board member. I will pass it off to Dr. Daisy Torres.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Daisy Torres Hill, Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, and I will pass it off to Attorney Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Wilson. I'm a staff attorney here with Harvard Public Schools. I forgot the popcorn. I forgot the popcorn spot. I'm gonna popcorn it off to Dr. Fitzgerald.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Dr. Jessica Fitzgerald. I'm principal at Great Path Academy at CT State Manchester, and I will popcorn it off to Miss Nancy Williams.
Thank you, Principal Fitzgerald. Hi, everyone. My name is Nancy Williams. I am the Assistant Director of Recruitment here in the Office of Talent Management, and I'm going to popcorn off to Connie Nieves.
Good afternoon, everyone. Connie Nieves, Executive Director of Human Resources, and I will popcorn it to Dr. Hoffman.
Thanks, Connie. Hi, everyone. Jen Hoffman, Assistant Superintendent for Special Education and Pupil Services. I will pass to Deb Comides.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Director of Nursing and Clinical Services for the Hartford Board of Ed, and I will pass it off to Stephen Tatum.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Mr. Tatum, Stephen Tatum. I am a board member. I will pass it off to Dolores Garcia Blocker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lola Garcia Blocker, Executive Director at Teach for America, Connecticut. And I think everyone went. Oh, sorry, Tyrone Walker.
Thank you, Dolores. Tyrone Walker, Second Vice Chair, Hartford Board of Ed, and welcoming everyone to today's meeting.
And perhaps Christina Santiago.
I'm T&L Committee. No, my name is Christina Santiago, and I'm the board liaison.
Great. Is that everyone? I think, yes. Did we miss anyone?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you so much. And Christina, can you please pull up agenda again? Thank you so much. And our first item on the agenda is updates and announcements, and I will pass that off to Assistant Superintendent Dr. Daisy Torres Hill.
Hi, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to share some updates and upcoming events that I thought board members would be interested in. I'm from the Department of Teaching and Learning. You can go to the next slide. So there I just shared. We'll go to the next one. Perfect. So we are in alignment here today with our district priorities. We're going to focus on high quality learning experiences that you're going to hear about and student connectedness to school. Next slide. Okay, so on Monday, April 28th, we were excited to present 9 aspiring assistant principal graduates who graduated from our inaugural Hartford Assistant Principal Leadership Academy at SMSA. Thank you, Board Member Tatum, for attending. This culminating event highlighted our 3-year district strategy to identify a cohort of aspiring leaders and develop their leadership skills and knowledge that is required and needed to be a highly effective school administrator in Hartford. These fellows engaged in a year-long professional learning journey, completed a capstone leadership experience, and received mentorship and coaching from Partners for Educational Leadership. If you go to the next slide, you will see some great photos of the event. Give you a moment to take a look at that. We're just very excited with the energy in the room, the amazing presentations from our leaders. These aspiring assistant principals have just really poured their heart and soul into these projects. And it was really excellent to hear from each of them and see all the learning that they did in practice. So just a little shout out to folks who were able to attend. So thank you very much. We can go to the next slide. I would like to invite anybody on the call to attend our annual STEM fair taking place this Friday at the Connecticut Armory from 10 to 2, and is designed to engage students in hands-on STEM learning and showcasing their achievements. This year's fair will bring together students, educators, and community members to celebrate innovation in science and technology. The event will feature interactive activities, student competitions, and recognition of outstanding projects across multiple grade levels. The fair aims to inspire future leaders in STEM while providing a platform for students to showcase their creativity and problem-solving skills. The shirt you see on the screen was actually designed by a student at Classical Magnet in their manufacturing class. Come see more this Friday. We hope you can join us. Next slide, please. I did want to provide a quick update on our grading committee work. This is a continuation of our discussion from last month's meeting, but next week, we're actually finalizing our last session, in which we will be thinking about our recommendations for consistent grading practices across all of our schools. This slide is a repeat, as I mentioned, from last month, and you'll get to see here all of the work we've been completing and the topics that we've been covering to date. We plan to share a more extensive look and a culmination of our learning together in the committee and recommendations to the committee here next month in May. Next slide. Another great event happening during the month of May, our 52nd annual Hartford Youth Arts Renaissance District Art Show will take place on the 14th of May in partnership with the Wadsworth Athenaeum. Over 100 students across the city participate in this event, in which will display various district art and celebrate our beautiful space at the Wadsworth, including a gallery dedicated to our district for the month of May. We hope you can join us later this month, or actually next month. We're almost in May. Next slide. Final event that I'd like to share with you is also very popular each year. It's our annual District Seal of Biliteracy event, which will take place on May 21st at Weaver High School. The Seal of Biliteracy recognizes the value of students' academic efforts and benefits of being bilingual and biliterate. It prepares students to be global citizens in a multicultural and multilingual world and acknowledges the mastery of 2 or more languages. It also provides recognitions to our multilingual learners for the great value of developing their English while also maintaining their primary language. This year's keynote speaker is Dr. Gladys Labus, the pioneer of bilingual education in the state of Connecticut, and she is the former Director of Equity and Languages with the Connecticut State Department of Education and is also a current SCSU professor. We hope you can join us later this month. And that's it, I believe, for our updates. I will have more to share at next month's Teaching and Learning Committee regarding grading. Okay. I don't know if this is a time that we want. Yep, I see some questions. So go ahead. Passing it over.
Okay, thank you so much. And let me just see, Board Chair Hockenhull, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Just a real quick question, Dr. Torres Hill. The event for the STEM fair that's this Friday, is it just from 8 to 9? Like, can you tell us really quick what that Friday is about?
Yes, this is the STEM fair. It's open, right, to the public. We invite community members. Well, we'll be showcasing over 500 of our students with their STEM projects. It will take place between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So anybody can drop in at any point to kind of engage with students showcasing their projects. There'll be a speaker series. I'll actually be speaking with some STEM students from classical, and you can just kind of, it's like a science rotation. You can go visit different exhibits. So if you're available, you can come in anytime between 10 and 2.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for that clarification. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And let me just see if there are any more hands up. I don't see any more, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our next agenda item is oops, it went away. Hold on. But I believe our next agenda item is MCC/GPA agreement. And I will pass that off to Principal Jessica Fitzgerald.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. And I'm happy to tag in Attorney Wilson, who will also be highlighting some of the pieces that are listed here in this slide deck. And thank you all tonight for allowing me to be here to discuss this item. And Christina, I know you're helping me kind of advance the slides, so thank you. So we currently have a 5-year contract with Manchester Community or CT State Manchester Community College for Great Path Academy. The current contract expires this year, June 30th, 2025. And we have been working with the college, CT State, for the past year, negotiating our next 5-year contract, which would run July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2030. So our current look at this contract is I'm going to present to you kind of the terms of what that looks like and, discuss this next contract term. You want to hit next? Thanks. Great. All right. So our mission here at Great Path Academy since its inception, since Hartford Public Schools has been running it, is to provide an innovative learning environment that supports students from diverse backgrounds in developing the values, self-discipline, work habits, academic and life skills needed to achieve success. Students at GPA are immersed in the college community and encouraged to accelerate their post-secondary studies by supplementing their high school program with college coursework. Next slide, please. The history of this is that the partnership with CT State Manchester, formerly known as Manchester Community College, began in July 2012. There have been numerous contract extensions with the result of the last contract, which we're currently under, which I said expires this current June. And we're looking to continue the next contract with a new 5-year contract. Our current school enrollment is 336. And our proposed school enrollment for next year for Great Path is 363. Currently under this contract, Hartford Public Schools, through the Magnet School Operating Grant and tuition billing, we pay an estimate 12% of our total revenue to CT State Manchester per year. And then we pay an estimate 4.8% of our revenue to Hartford Public Schools in the management agreement. And this is what's been in place since 2012. And we're looking to have the board reauthorize the superintendent to continue this contract, extending it another 5 years. Next slide. A little bit more demographics of our enrollment. We are part of the Regional School Choice Office where everybody's entered through a blind lottery. Our students come from over 25 different towns, with our largest towns being, of course, Hartford, East Hartford, and Manchester. 45% of our current student body is from Hartford, 55% are from the suburban towns, and these are our current demographics of our student population in terms of Black, Latino, white, other, free reduced lunch, multilingual learner, and special education. Next slide. So our unique partnership with CT State Manchester is that our students have access to college courses upon completion of requirements that are set forth by the college. Currently, our students can access anywhere between 24, 30 credits, depending on how accelerated they are. What's exciting about this next proposed contract is that students will have access to 48 tuition-free college credits throughout their entire academic year, which includes fall, spring, winter, and summer. And they'll have the opportunity to register for classes at the same time as the college population. This is a very great initiative for us because this provides much more access to college courses than we've ever had before, in almost closing the gap to an associate's degree, which is typically 60 credits. So having students earn up to 48, we're not too far from offering the ability to students to complete their associates while in high school. And this would open up our opportunity for them to take classes all year long, whereas now they're restricted to really just taking their classes in the fall and the spring. This will give them opportunity to do winter and summer to get them closer to that 48, much more than we currently offer. And registering at the same time is another important point for us because typically in the past, we've had to wait usually a month after the rest of the college population registers because it's usually on a space available basis. So registering at the same time will help ensure our students get classes that they would like at the college related to their designated field of study. Next slide. Just a little bit access to college resources. That's a picture of one of the piano labs on campus. Our students take piano in that room. Our school has access to the high school portion of the campus from 7 to 3:30 every day. Our students get to utilize college spaces such as the piano lab, robotics manufacturing room, auditorium, dance and fitness studios, band shell, field, outside walking trails. And CT State Manchester allows for us to do programming with academic tutoring and student support services. We also, as part of our middle college programming, we've been working on developing a pathway with CT State Manchester for manufacturing. Ready CT has assisted us in this work this year by launching a new class on 3D modeling and robotics that would eventually lead to a pathway to CT State Manchester's advanced precision manufacturing programming. And then students have had opportunities for internships since we launched our partnership with Ready CT. Evolving into, 54 students recently this past year getting paid internship experiences. As I stated, we have access to middle college programming here. Starting our freshman year, we began this initiative this year. Our students take 2 thematic elective courses, College and Career Success 1 as freshmen and College and Career Success 2 as sophomores. These courses help enable students to pursue skills that are needed for college success and help focus on such things as project-based learning, college preparation, exploration, academic career success, study skills, and more. Those were courses that were created by our own teachers and approved by Hartford Public Schools Teaching and Learning divisions, and have been really successful for us this first year in implementation. Next slide. Students also have opportunity to enroll in work-based certificate programs with the college, such as CNA, vet tech, EMT, phlebotomy. We have had several students, at least 5, have earned these certificates in these various programs since 2021. We will have a senior graduate this year with the college because she's earned her photography certification. She's taken all the requirements for photography. So that's exciting for us this year. And CT State Manchester, along with CT State, is expanding opportunities for high school teachers to receive articulation for their high school classes to become certified for high school courses for college credit. Next slide. As part of the Middle College National Consortium, we're a part of one of 50 middle college, early college high schools throughout the country that work on the principles of college-focused academic programming, comprehensive student support, dynamic school-college partnerships, and culture of continuous improvement. Through our involvement in the last few years with MCNC and our CT State college partners, we've received intentional professional development to improve our middle college partnership and experience. Next slide. For new programming, we're hoping to, expand on the opportunities that we currently have. We want to implement new initiatives and leverage new spaces to complete additional programming. We plan to launch a rock climbing wall in the gym next year, which will support our rock climbing club. And we're building up programming for our esports academic curriculum and club. And that program is made possible with the support of CT State Manchester, who's fully on board with helping us access these additional academic extracurricular opportunities for students. As I stated before, our projected enrollment for next year is 362, which is nearly a 10% increase from this current school year. We already have 114 new students accepted through the Regional School Choice Lottery, with 48% of them being from Hartford. We've been very intentional of trying to close our gap to become 50% Hartford, 50% suburban. About 60 to 70 students each semester have taken college courses at CT State Manchester since 2021. And next fall, we have about 100 students eligible to take college courses. And those demographics specifically are, out of that 100 that I just said, 35% of those students are for Hartford and 65% are from non-resident. And we are trying to match our current demographics with the student eligibility. So that is the goal, is to increase the Hartford number eligibility just to match it with our current demographics of 45, 48, close to 50% of our population. With the ability to earn more tuition-free college credits, we're committed to helping students earn associate's degrees while in high school and bridging that gap from 48 credits to the full 60 credits. And with new revised dual enrollment policies coming down the pipe from CT State, we're hoping for students to be able to access college classes as early as their freshman year with a required 2.0 GPA, as some new policies coming out from the college. Additional comments here in terms of assessment and progress monitoring, and I'll go back to Attorney Wilson if you want to add anything in about the contract, or I can pause here if you want to share, just to touch base with you.
You're covering it. We could move forward.
Okay, great. So recent achievement goals and progress monitoring. Last year, we had a 94.2% four-year cohort graduation rate, which exceeded federal and state milestones. In 2022-2023, our four-year college entrance rate was 84.8%. 89.4% of our 11th and 12th graders are engaged in college and career readiness courses, meaning that they're taking at least two dual enrollment courses in previous years. Last year, 83.1% of our ninth graders were on track to high school graduation, and our next generation EdSite accountability index is 62.5 this previous school year. For dual enrollment performance, from fall of 2023, 77% of our students taking CT State Manchester courses passed with a C or higher, which is higher than the traditional college enrollment pass rate of 70% and higher than the 60% pass rate for students who take college classes for the first time. Since 2019, students have taken 915 courses throughout CT State Manchester, with 268 courses being completed in last school year. The most popular courses have been English composition, general psychology, and college algebra. And over the past five years with CT State, GPA has had the second highest high school population enrollment with CT State Community College behind Three Rivers Middle College. Some notable awards and memberships. In the past 2 years, we've received the Merit School of Distinction Award from Magnet Schools of America. We reignited a chapter of our National Honor Society this year, where we inducted 20 upperclassmen. In 2022, we rejoined the Middle College National Consortium, where we're focused on equity for college access, middle college programming, dual enrollment, post-secondary opportunities. 2018 GPA received Merit School of Excellence Award from MSA. Some various great student recognition. Just about a week ago, our current 12th grader, Jaden Dewitt-Smith, earned a Aspirations in Computing Award from National Center of Women in Technology, which is one out of 150 Connecticut winners, we're so proud of her. Recently, we were a state finalist for Samsung Solve in 2023 for our mobile community apps with our computer technology teacher. Each year, we have students earn the Hartford Promise Scholarship, with 10 students earning this scholarship last year. We have a partnership with Define Learning, where students have presented their college and career success projects, and our teachers have presented professional development with Define Learning. And we've had several students recognized through the College Board big scholar program with National Hispanic Recognition and National African American Recognition Awards recently. And I think that is the end. Thank you.
Oops. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. Let me just see. I don't know whose hand went up first. So I will give Board Member Walker the floor. You can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This is Principal Fitzgerald or Attorney Wilson. This agreement was last ratified before my time on the board, maybe before my time, maybe some others as well. So I don't understand the contours of the payment structure. Is there a way just to kind of break down what the money's actually going for?
You want to
Sure.
start with that, Dr. Fitzgerald?
Sure. So, we technically have two sources of funding. So we have the Magnet School Operating Grant, which all the magnet schools receive a portion of that. And then we have tuition billing. And each of those has a certain dollar amount per student. And the total revenue that comes in from that, those two sources of funding, 12% of that revenue is given to Manchester or CT State Manchester in quarterly payments. And then 4.8% of that revenue is given to Hartford Public Schools for a management fee. So let's say roughly $500,000 is what the fee is for the community college, and then $200,000 is what the fee is for Manchester. So I would say, in kind of whole numbers, between $700,000 of the budget is paid out in management fees to those two entities. And in terms of the breakdown from there is, I don't necessarily have those details, right? Because that's invoiced to us as a community.
Through the chair, if I can, I guess I'm trying to understand what is the management fee. I guess in my head, I get an idea how a school operates, right? So what's the management oversight that Manchester is actually providing, and what's the actual central office Hartford providing you that requires the payment?
I can answer that further. So for instance, being on the facility of CT State Manchester, we have opportunities for the facilities alone, right? Then there's safety and security. So there's trash removal, there's custodial, right? So those types of things they're providing, and there's IT. And as well, there's also a dual enrollment coordinator that assists us in the work of the dual enrollment. So those are some of the types of items that are involved in the CT State Manchester 12% fee.
And Hartford?
Well, on Hartford's end, there's such thing as school lunch, right? So our school lunch, there's transportation, those types of things that are not directly paid out of our budget. So for instance, our budget pays for, staffing and instructional supplies, but some of those bigger items such as the transportation, food services, that does not come out directly of the budget. That's taken care of by Hartford. And Attorney Wilson, you could add to any of that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walker.
Please continue.
Yeah, what I want to flag too is the price point of the contract has stayed the same too, right? Over the last contract that you mentioned that happened before your time was at the same price point that we are now. So that price hasn't increased. And what we'll flag, but what we have gotten is significantly more access to college credits for our students, right? So as Dr. Fitzgerald had noted, from 24 to 30 to now 48, which is a significant increase there too.
Thank you. I think my only request is, like in this kind of presentation or just beyond this, can all the detail, can that be documented so we can actually see it and understand and just have it for our own reference and understanding? That's all I would request. Because my sense is that the relative value of what you're saying is in our ability to compare, what's other schools paying that, that are partnered with universities or colleges and things like that. Because I totally understand what you're saying now that you described it to me. But the documentation of it is all I'm really requesting. So it's just to be a good reference for us. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll get that.
Okay, I see that board chair Hockenhull, she put her hand down. Do you no longer have a question, or are you all set?
I'm all set. I have the same question as Board Member Walker.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
Okay, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for that presentation. And can we have the agenda up again, please, Christina?
Same amount, that's more.
Okay.
You're on mute if you are speaking.
Okay, our next agenda item is the TFA contract, and let's see, who will be presenting on that?
That will be Miss Nancy Williams.
Nancy Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairperson Daristelle Leisure. Thank you and the Teaching and Learning Committee for your time this evening. I am joined by Connie Nieves, the Executive Director of Human Resources, and Lola Garcia Blocker, who is the Executive Director of Teach for America, Connecticut. You can go to the next slide. So as you can see here, during our time together tonight, we will provide an introduction of Teach for America, partnership overview, the history of our partnership with TFA, assessment and progress monitoring, and recommendation for the contract. Next slide. Thanks, Chris. So contract overview, this is pretty self-explanatory. This contract with Teach for America will build upon the Office of Talent Management's mission to recruit and hire a robust and qualified workforce that serves and represents our diverse, beautiful, and capable students. Through this partnership, the district is able to hire diverse educators with similar backgrounds to the students and families we serve, while providing these educators with additional support and coaching in addition to the professional development, coaching, and mentoring provided by TFA. Over the 2 years, the contract amount is $150,000. That turns out to be $15,000 per core member over the 2 years. And core member is the TFA provided title of teachers that come through the TFA program. So just wanted to make sure everyone understood that. I know it's edu-speak, so just want to make sure. And the contract term is for 2 years. So that would be from July 1, 2025 through the end of the school year of June 30th, 2027. Next slide, please. Thank you. So TFA's vision to pursue equity, strengthen community, achieve impact, choose courage, act with humility, demonstrate resilience, and learn continuously is aligned to the district's strategic operating plan, specifically high quality teaching and learning and skillful staff and effective operations. According to data from the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education, AACTE, enrollment in teacher preparation programs had decreased by roughly 45% between 2010 and 2021. That means there are 300,000 fewer teachers prepared in our nation. And as you've heard in previous presentations, this has been an issue for us in regards to recruitment and retention of our teachers here in the district. So as part of HBS's strategy to recruit skilled educators to Hartford Public Schools, we use a multi-pronged approach to meet potential candidates where they're at. And that includes growing your own, partner pathways, local outreach, national outreach, international outreach. And this contract with TFA will build upon the Office of Talent Management's mission to recruit and hire a robust and qualified workforce that serves and represents our diverse, beautiful, and capable students. Next slide, please. So Teach for America, TFA Connecticut, collaborates with communities most impacted by educational inequities, I should say, to ensure all students have the opportunity, choice, and agency to shape their future by providing high-quality educators who are placed in schools where they're most needed, wanted, and have the greatest impact. Through this partnership, the district is able to hire diverse educators while providing these educators with additional support and coaching in addition to the professional development, coaching, and mentoring provided by TFA. With this contract, TFA will provide access to talented core members who commit to teaching at least 2 years in their placement here in Hartford Public Schools, a dedicated TFA staff coach who provides tailored support to core members and our team in partnership during the service of those 2 years. Training and development of core members through our pre-service programming, which includes centralized learning and practicum, where they focus on instructional planning and delivery, classroom management and culture, leadership development, and diversity. And also they collaborate with our teacher certification program partners, including CCSU, Relay Graduate School of Education, and depending on the major, University of Bridgeport, so that all core members enroll in a teacher certification program and meet the CSDE requirements for a DSAP or a residential educator certificate. So partnership overview. Hartford Public Schools has partnered with TFA since school year 2007-2008, and TFA strives to serve as a strategic talent partner dedicated to recruiting, preparing, and supporting diverse and exceptional leaders for students. Candidates presented to HPS for consideration come from a broad range of academic majors, career fields, and diverse backgrounds. Prior to entering the classroom, TFA provides pre-service training to ensure core members meet applicable federal, state, and local education standards or requirements that are applicable to state certification regulations and the ESSA. TFA will provide professional development services and activities for core members throughout the 2 years. And additionally, TFA will facilitate enrollment of the CMs in their licensure programs. HPS will provide commitment to cohorting our core members in schools that have the greatest need and where they will be the strongest additions to the community and best fit for our students. We will also ensure dedication to mentor, coach, and develop these new teachers as we would with any new teacher to the district, and also have clear communication with TFA to mutually support teachers and one another. This contract will allow for up to 10 teachers, TFA teachers, to be employed by Hartford Public Schools for the 2025-2026 and 2026-2027 school years at a cost of $15,000 for over those 2 years. So it's broken up into $7,500 per year. And that will cover the service agreement of this contract. The return on investment is that we have recruitment of diverse talent, comprehensive training for those folks, ongoing professional development, enrollment and certification programs, and additional supports. Just to give you some more information about our partnership with TFA, HPS will have up to 10 teachers placed in cohorts within our schools of greatest need and opportunity. Among Connecticut's 2024-2025 cohort, 59% identify as BIPOC, 65% are from a low-income background, 53% call Connecticut home, and 53% teach STEM subjects, and 35% are first in the family to attend college. Of the anticipated incoming Connecticut core, for which we would be a part of, 67% identify as BIPOC, and 80% call Connecticut home. And the subject areas that that we are considering are biology, general science, special education, elementary, possibly social studies, and English. Next slide, Chris. So since our partnership in 2007, our district has hired 301 core members with an average of 3.1 years teaching in Hartford Public Schools. Currently, we have 15 former core members serving in our district, 12 as teachers in the classroom, 4 school and central office administrators. And as of 2023, there are approximately 582 TFA alumni across the country who identify as people of color leading schools as principals, and 370 serving as school system leaders. TFA uses data to drive instruction and orient long-term success. As of our last TFA contract approved by the board in 2020, data showed that students who were taught by TFA teachers consecutively surpassed 100% to goal, 1.5 years of growth in one school year. According to an analysis of 23 studies spanning 24 years conducted by the American Institutes for Research, TFA teachers have had a consistent and significant impact on students' learning. On average, students of TFA teachers perform better in math than those of similar non-TFA teachers. Students of TFA teachers perform better in science than those of similar non-TFA teachers. And students of TFA teachers perform similarly in reading to those of similar non-TFA teachers. HPS and TFA participate in regular touchpoint meetings to discuss the growth of our community, of our core members, identify issues and solutions, and support. The coaching model also provides opportunities for the CMs to receive in-classroom coaching. The TFA coach also develops relationships with the teacher's mentor and supervisors to identify areas of opportunity, strength, and determine best next steps for growth. And TFA is one of many partner pathways that we work with to cultivate students. Over the span of our partnership, HPS has had access to more diverse candidates from the Connecticut area, especially in our hard-to-fill areas like math and science. And with our last cohort in 2021, 48% of our core members identified as teachers of color. So TFA develops teachers who not only are awesome in the classroom, but they also go beyond the traditional experience and expectations to advance students' academic and personal growth while helping to strengthen their schools. Many have been selected as HBS Teachers of the Year at their schools, including one District Teacher of the Year. Many have coached athletics, managed clubs, and participated in school governance councils, among other things. TFA Connecticut is also a community partner and has been asked to participate in the Buckley High School Public Service Pathway Pathways Industry Advisory Board for specifically our teacher prep pathway. They are also members of the North Hartford Ascend and have been part of the Weaver High School Redesign Committee, and have also partnered with the district and as part of one of our educator prep partners to provide information sessions for non-certified staff interested in becoming certified teachers, among other efforts in the district and the community. Additionally, Hartford Promise has partnered with HPS and TFA to share opportunities for Hartford Promise scholars after graduation. Some of the scholars have applied to TFA with the intention of being considered for hire in HPS as part of our Grow Our Own efforts as well. Next slide, please. So just to talk about our impact, I talked about the academics, but just hearing from the student and student voice. At the time of the last contract that was approved in 2020, TFA administered a survey to students of TFA teachers and found that 75% of the HPS students strongly agree that the teacher in this class makes me feel that he or she really cares about me. 95 strongly felt that my teacher makes everyone work hard. 73% agree that my teacher doesn't let people give up when the work gets hard, and 69 strongly agree that their teacher wants them to learn to use their thinking skills, not just memorize things. So as we think about this contract, the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're going to assess and measure. The following measures will be used to progress monitor: student achievement data, formative assessments, evaluative measures, observational data, teacher growth data, formal and informal evaluations, and also teacher retention, completion of a 2-year commitment, and then also continuation beyond the initial term of 2 years. So lastly, our recommendation on slide 11 is to approve this contract. This will build upon the Office of Talent Management's mission to recruit and hire a robust and qualified workforce. In alignment with the district, TFA recruits diverse, purpose-driven candidates committed to teaching at least 2 years in our schools, and our cohorts have shown that our teachers stay beyond the 2-year commitment. We are able to recruit and hire additional staff to our certified roles with a new contract that we have with HFT, but we also realize that other districts are offering competitive salaries as well. And so this is another avenue for us to consider for recruiting teachers. And based on the past experience, HPS has been successful in retaining our core members and growing them into leadership roles as well. One of the other benefits that we have is that we can also learn from TFA's professional development of their core members, whose students perform better in math and science, and maybe apply those practices for our professional learning with our other teachers. And we can also learn from them in their recruiting practices to bolster our own. And as we grow our own partner, our non-certified staff can see firsthand the support and development CM core members receive, which may increase the interest of our non-certified staff to pursue teaching careers in HPS, which had been the case in previous years. And we actually have a couple of those who are in consideration for the incoming cohort. So should the board not approve this contract, the district may have to forgo this contract and to consider hiring those core members or possibly have some teacher vacancies. And I'll leave it at that. I know that was a lot of information, so I'm sure there are lots of questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation. One question that I have is, what does retention look like once the teachers have fulfilled their commitment, that 2-year commitment?
So overall, we've averaged 3 years. So most of our teachers have actually stayed beyond the 2 years. And some folks actually choose TFA as the route to enter into the education teaching profession. We have a few candidates that we've talked with, and that's actually where they're at. They want to be in teaching. They want to be a teacher in the classroom. We have one person who's in the district who's in a non-certified role, and this is the partner pathway that she would like to be a part of to earn her certification.
Okay, thank you. And when you say 3 years, is it 3 years beyond the 2 years, making a total of 5, or just add
3 years
additional
total.
1 year? Okay, 3 years total. So
Yeah.
like 1 additional year.
Yep.
Can I add something to that, please?
Please do, Lola.
Yes, and thank you for this opportunity. And Nancy, that was a fabulous presentation. Thank you so much. And so Lola Garcia Blocker, Executive Director, Teach for America, Connecticut. I have over 35 years in K-12 education. I've worked in New Haven, Hartford, and Bridgeport Public Schools. As chief of staff in New Haven Public Schools, I was very concerned about TFA. I negotiated that contract for Connecticut and was concerned about the very issue that has been raised here. And so for that reason, my focus coming into this role has been on local recruitment of candidates. And so one of the things that we do know is that the majority of folks who come into TFA after their 2 years continue in teaching. What people see is they see them leaving the district, but what those folks are doing is they're going home. They want to make a difference in their own community. And so when I stepped into this role, I was hyper-focused on recruiting graduates of New Haven, Hartford, Bridgeport, Waterbury Public Schools to come back and make a difference in their own communities. And so that's the piece that Nancy raised here. I am very impressed. These folks have gone through a very rigorous interview and selection process. And so we do have a Hartford Promise Scholar graduating from Hampton University, ready to come back to Hartford to make a difference. We do have a Hartford Youth Scholar who is substitute teaching right now at Martin Luther King School, went through the rigorous process. He's ready to start. We have 2 young ladies who are sisters, surprisingly, who are interventionists in Hartford Public Schools. I had the opportunity to interview one of them. She did one of the best demo lessons I have seen. Why? Because she's doing that work, and she's currently sitting in a master's program at Central Connecticut State University, earning her master's in elementary teaching. And so these are folks, and when I look at the core that we currently have, many of the folks who have returned home are living at home. They went home, they live in their house, they're teaching and working in their own communities. And so I am very pleased right now, as Nancy shared, 80% of our 2025 core call Connecticut home. So these folks are coming home and they want to make a difference in their own community. And I'm really impressed with the folks that want to come home and work and make a difference in Hartford Public Schools.
Thank you so much for that that additional information. That was very helpful. I do have an additional question before I pass it on to board members who may have questions. Being that Hartford Public Schools has 2 public Montessori programs, 2 public Montessori schools, have you explored the possibility of incorporating Teach for America with getting the Montessori credentials? Because I know that University of Hartford has a bachelor's as well as a master's track with for Montessori with the concentration in Montessori, and there is a training center, nearby.
Haven't considered that, but would love to talk further about that as a way to expand opportunities for Teach for America core members in Hartford. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay.
I would just,
And
I'll follow up with Nancy on where to go to explore that further.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let me see. I don't see any more hands up. So I believe that you've satisfied all of the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. And our last agenda item is SPED contracts. And Jennifer Hoffman, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we are presenting 3 special education contracts that need amendments. We can go to the next slide, Ms. Santiago. Thank you. The proposal is related to special education contracts that support students with IEPs. We have 3 contracts, which are Soliant, which is ProCare is under Soliant, A Brand New Day, and Aviana Health. So the first contract, and I should also note that the 3 contracts were initially set at $49,000 because, well, for a few reasons. One, The variability with student need is great. And so we always want to start lowest amount based on what a student might need coming into the district. They also come in at different times. This particular contract for ProCare was to secure a school psychologist for Belize dual language and for Breakthrough North. The hope is always that we will be able to hire and retain our own staff. However, we continue to have this vacancy as we began the school year. So we initiated this contract, and we unfortunately have not been able to fill the position with our own staff. That's why we are looking to amend an increase for another $50,000 so that we can use the vacancy funds to cover the cost. With this contract, we were able to maintain compliance in providing triennial and initial comprehensive psychological evaluations for students in both schools. Similarly, we have a contract with A Brand New Day. And again, this is a contract for a student that came into the district. We were not really sure which direction the student need was going to take. And so again, we started the contract at that $50,000. Over the course of the school year, we realized that through the PBT process, the student needed additional supports. And so we are again looking to amend that an additional $50,000 for a board certified behavior analyst, a BCBA, which supports that student in their daily services in school, in the classroom and individually. And this cost is covered through the IDEA grant. And then lastly, we have an additional contract, again, with Aviana Healthcare. This was a contract initiated as a result of a vacancy with nursing. This particular contract provided one-on-one nursing support for a student with an IEP. Again, we started it at that $49,000. Throughout the year, the IEP was amended and that student no longer requires a one-on-one nursing. However, we did go over that $49,000, so we need to amend the cost. And this the vacancy funding was used to cover the cost of this contract. And I think that's really the information for those three amendments. And we can take questions at this time.
Great, thank you so much. And I don't see any hands up for questions. But I will say that
Hey, Francois.
next month's, board member
Walker.
Walker, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just threw the hand up a little bit late. Just some clarification. So these are three existing contracts, Dr. Hoffman, and so you're just modifying them because we have extra staffing needs. The first position, is that one staff split between two schools, or is that what that is to represent, that first Breakthrough North and Belize?
Yes, that school psychologist supports both schools. And it's primarily around evaluation. So evaluations that are required for either initial referral to PPT or the 3-year triennial testing that needs to be completed, but split between the two schools.
And Chair, if I can have a follow-up question. So these resources are coming through, I guess, these providers. So are these resources going to end up being school-based resources? Like, are they going to be, like, is that psychologist going to primarily be working for Belize and Breakthrough North? So basically sitting at the schools for the most part.
So the hope is to keep that particular candidate under the, so I think somebody started to say, next month we will bring all of our other contracts for renewal. And so part of that is this one contract called Soliant. We have used them in the past. What we'll do next year is just put this candidate under that contract so that we can continue with her services in these two schools.
Right. But the person will be school-based is what I was,
Correct. Yes.
okay. And the
Yeah,
other
they're in direct service of students.
right, the other two are the same situation, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'll stop my question there.
Thank you so much, Board Member Walker. So I have a question, a follow-up question with regards to the question that you asked with regards to splitting the schools. For public consumption, what is pretty much the timeline? Can you just touch upon the timeline with regards to testing, how long that takes, how long that process takes?
Sure. The process is 45 days that the team has to complete evaluations. So a school psychologist could have multiple evaluations, occurring within that 45-day timeline. And then we kind of start over if there's additional. So it's not that they are just possibly testing. They're also attending PPTs. They could also be servicing students in some capacity. They might support the team with the creation of behavior plans or some other support in the classroom. The school psychologist is a wealth of information, and so we truly rely on their services, not just for evaluations, but to support the teams and families as well.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to check to see if we have any more hands raised. And I believe we don't. So thank you so much for attending. And just as just an announcement, next month we will be postponing the meeting to June 4th. So please put that on your calendar. And thank you for attending our Teaching and Learning Committee meeting.